Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. Welcome to the Commonwealth cabin. We've got some bad news today for resellers. You know, we've been pinched. I've talked about this before. There's a continuing just pinch, not just on resellers, but on a lot of folks. And, you know, inflationary concerns and all that, but this is specific to what's going on with resellers, and there's a little bit of bad news. It's going to bring your costs up a little bit. I want to talk about that today and then get into details with some strategies, and I've got some sales. Let's go take a look. Had to turn that AC off back here just so the audio is better because it's been hot. You know, the summer update came out on eBay, and it was pretty much, wasn't much there, to be perfectly honest with you. I usually pull one or two things out of a topic that I think folks are interested in, but there isn't much there. But there is another change from something else that is a big expense for resellers that we're going to get into today. And I think most of you know this at this point. If you don't, you're hearing about it from all sides, and I want to talk about that. I have actually filmed for the last 5 days. Sales have been pretty darn good. Today, there's a decent amount of sales. There's not a bunch of high dollar ones, but sometimes it's just bread and butter, which I think is a good thing for this particular topic today. And I'll wait for the right item to kind of get into it here in just a second. And that is the cost of shipping going up, which is never what we want to hear. So this is it looks like it's a Civil War replica kind of hat. And it says made in the USA, BIC. And that one actually did pretty darn good, I think. I think it sold for 30 bucks plus shipping. All right, y'all, Jess is here today working on some live shows. I'm probably going to scare her. Oh, there he is. Say hi, Jess. Hello. Look, she didn't watch the debate last week, so she's watching it. You're a good citizen for watching the debate. This sold, so I got some more space. Jess, I got some more space for all this glass we bought. Check it out. I don't want to even tell you because that video is so awesome. But how cool is that? And so I'll be listing a bunch of glass on eBay. Oh, she's working on a live show right now. Y'all go check out dibdit.com. We'll be doing a live show. Look at all this. This is mostly live show stuff right here. That's all eBay stuff over there. What are we looking at? Vinylmations and wrestling figures. Yeah, not bad. There's some cool stuff over here though. Snoopy lunchbox. $18.95, a little pedestal, I don't know, candy dish, I guess. Let's just jump into this topic here. And it's not just about reselling, of course. This affects everybody who ships anything. And we'll start with the market dominant stuff, which is just a fancy way to say the stuff that the post office has a monopoly on, essentially a constitutional monopoly dating way back when, of course. And that's for the, 1 ounce letters and stuff like that. They do magazines. There's all kinds of stuff. So the market dominant prices, postcards is another one. I let a fly in here. So that's going up again for the second time this year, unfortunately. So that really stinks. That fly was driving me nuts. So I stopped the camera and got it out. And as soon as I got one out, another one came in. So if it's bugging you as much as it is me, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to live with it. So, I know the first class stuff and the stamps and whatever doesn't affect us as much, but it affects me a little bit on CommonwealthPicker.com. I ship those stickers out using a stamp. Over on Dibdit, I can ship stuff out using a stamp, the right stuff. So there's different things. It affects me a little bit, but not a whole bunch. Metered mail and stuff like that. All that stuff is going up. I think we started off at 66 cents the beginning of the year for a stamp, and they bumped it. They bumped it again 70. Is it 73 cents now? So that's going up. Metered mail, 69 cents. All of those things that are monopolized by the post office, that has to go through the, what do they call it? The Postal Regulatory Commission. And then the other stuff, which is stuff they compete with other shippers like UPS and FedEx, all that stuff is going up as well. The biggest impact on us, of course, is going to be USPS Ground Advantage and Priority Mail. And that is going up as well for another time this year. Unfortunately, if favorably reviewed, it has been at this point. New rates include a 25% increase for the Parcel Select service. Doesn't affect most of us. That's for massive quantities for some high volume folks, and that's going up a lot. As a strategic part of delivering for America 10-year plan, these proposed changes will support the Postal Service in creating a revitalized organization capable blah blah blah. We care about exactly how much it's going to affect us and what kind of steps we take to mitigate it. And I think there's two different strategies for me so far, but it's getting me to rethink my entire shipping program at this point. I don't think I'm going to make wholesale changes anytime soon, but it's at least making me think about it. The first batch of changes has really already happened, and that's the stuff that affects us a little bit more. The second batch, that was July 1st. Second batch is July 14th. This is a woman's North Face jacket. It was in pretty darn good condition, so we got a decent amount for it. $26.95 plus shipping. Not too bad. It's got one little spot right there. And for this time of year, I'll take it. For those of you who haven't heard about it, I'll tell you about it really quick. I'm sure most of you have, but then I want to spend a lot of the time today as I pull orders talking about how I'm thinking through this, and I want to get your feedback on how you're thinking through some of these changes as well. So prices will increase for packages under and over 1 pound with some adjustments as high as $2.11. This is Ground Advantage. Cubic pricing for Ground Advantage will also see an increase. And that really stinks for me. And in a minute, well, I'll just say it right now. On the Priority Mail Cubic, an average jump of 10%. And the cubic stuff is where I really save money. I package stuff and I get it small. Really helpful to me and for a lot of us. And that is seeing a large increase. Some of the rates going up $2.97. So this isn't just a little thing here. The average prices maybe, it says Priority Mail, expect a 5% average increase with some rates going up $3.10. So that's the first little bit that I want to talk about. How is it really going to affect the bottom line here? And it's really going to hurt on larger items that are going far away. Zone 4 type stuff that's going a long way away, because a percentage hike on something that's already high priced really makes it high priced. And so I do a lot of flat rate shipping, and that means that I'm going to have to go in and adjust my flat rate shipping rules that I have in place. And it's pretty easy. It's why I have those little policies in place, so I can just go in there and change that, and it automatically changes everything that's 2 pounds and higher, or whatever the policy is for. And so that is making me think, you know, maybe it's time to do the calculated shipping and give the buyer the discount that we get on eBay. And I'm not going to be there yet, but I'm getting closer, I can tell you that. I had to go bug Jess again. So we sold this little uranium dish right here. This thing is pretty cool. You know, waves in it or something. $28.45. Took an offer on this one. I think a viewer bought this plus shipping. By the way, I want to tie this into something I said earlier in a few videos ago, which is that I thought it was a little odd that eBay was pushing that on some folks. Pushing, I don't know. Voluntarily opting in people who who didn't opt out or whatever. I don't care what you want to say. That what I just talked about, the giving that discount to the buyer, because there is something strategic about the selling price of an item being too close to the shipping price that turns people off, which is why they like free shipping, right? Because it's all kind of hidden in there. And because they're charging us fees on this, right? We're paying more in shipping here. And the buyer is presumably going to pay more in shipping because we're not going to eat all this cost. But sometimes we eat a part of it. Like if I didn't change my shipping structure right now, I'd be eating all of it. And I'm going to change some of it. Some of it I might leave the same, but some of the higher weight stuff and bigger stuff I'm definitely going to change. Because we are not only paying the cost of the shipping, but we're paying eBay fees on the shipping portion of it as well, which is something we're going to talk about in a later video. We've talked about it before. Got some kind of a bug on that thing. This is a New York City Skyline Starbucks mug. Oh, I forgot to read the viewer comment. And this little mug right here sold for $18.95. No shipping. And they said they bought that uranium glass bowl right there. They said, "Hi, Kevin. I'm so excited to buy this for my husband's uranium glass collection. We are big fans of all your YouTube channels." I appreciate that. "And sell also. I just wanted to thank you for all the awesome videos full of entertainment and education. Keep on trucking." God bless you and yours, Tammy. eBay store name is Hilltop Hustler. I love that. The school I used to teach at, the mascot was, we were the Hilltoppers, EC Glass Hilltoppers. Lynchburg, much like Rome, is the city of 7 hills. So there you go. Complete classic. You remember this sale? That was a classic sale over on the Commonwealth Picker channel. You should go check that one out. I don't remember the name of that one, but it was insane. $37.95 plus shipping. We have made so much profit. This is all pure profit at this point on that sale. It's awesome. You know, this kind of thing is the kind of thing that gets some folks who are already on the fence about hanging it up. Some people will say, hey, this is it, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. And that won't be me, but it might be a few of you out there. I hope not, but you never know. This has been hanging around a long time. It's Nike Dry Fit Seahawks. And I just decided to put on 30% off sale, and it sold $13.30 plus shipping. Just had a visitor come in. Matter of fact, I had two. Bubba's girlfriend came over to see, or Bubba's fiance, to see Bubba. Hey, this reminds me of something too I want to talk about. And she saw that on the front porch and brought it in. I think I'm going to open it. I bought some things to resell from, well, I'll show you in a minute. Let me see. I'm looking for the Harley bin here. There are a few different Harley belts in here that have been slow sellers. So when I went to run my 30% off sale on some older items, normally I take multi-quantities off, but I left this particular belt on because I don't think we've ever sold one before. And it sold, but it sold at 30% off, $12.60 plus shipping. So one thing I've been doing lately to mitigate some of this cost, to get creative, to keep those prices competitive, because that's what you got to do in this kind of a market, is I've been finding paper that fortunately was left by Tim over the years in my trailer out there, which is awesome. But I've been finding some other bins that we've been using it, especially for the live selling. And I want to get in. This is a good example to start with. So this sold for well, maybe I'll find a better one. Let's do something like this. I think I have this list. I might even have it over on Divdit. I'm not sure. Whenever you see these increases, it affects these smaller items much more than it affects something that's selling for, you know, $60, $80. Because if you're not doing free shipping, when you sell something like this for $7 or whatever, $6, and the shipping on it is closer to, right? It's getting 5% closer to this item. There's a psychological effect. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I may change my items that are under 8 ounces to have no shipping, to have free shipping, and just bump the cost by that much. I think there is a psychological effect. Now, I could be wrong, but I think that's a strategy that I'm going to use sometime in the future. Maybe the next increase, I'll definitely do it. Now, the reality is I don't want to sell too many of these things. I don't want to deal with it. However, I do it from time to time because I enjoy it. And I think, like I said, live selling, it's got an effect over there too. I'm interested to see how this affects whatnot. It will affect what I sell on Divdit, and we've got another announcement soon for something totally different that I'm trying to combat all these things. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. And all the fee increases, the shipping increases, all that stuff, because I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't think we see the inflationary costs reflected in the cost of goods. I don't think our items are selling for much more than they used to be honest with you. I think some of them are, depending on what the items are. So we truly are feeling that pinch, and I think it's time to get creative and do some things, and I'm doing some bigger things and some smaller things like this paper. You know what I'd really like to see? It's what I've heard people talk about, but I've never seen it actually, is the Ground Advantage boxes. Man, I spend a small fortune in boxes lately. So I really do think, you know, being creative, I hear another pup coming in here. Being creative, but more importantly, trying to push that ASP up even farther. I think it really helps in the long run. So it's got some issues on it. It is a vintage Kyle Petty single stitch shirt, size large. Sold for $15 plus shipping. I sold a book, and this is Media Mail. Media Mail prices go up. Everything's going up. And Media Mail, to me, it's getting to the point where it's almost not worth it. This is a book I've had over a year. And I waited and waited. It's got a little signature in it. Bought all these books down there in Chatham. And I think that might be the last one from that lot, which is really cool. We sold them all. And this was the best one of the bunch, $62.30 plus shipping. What do you think of that, Poncho? Huh? What do you think of that? I don't care. Just give me a treat. I think things like this, when you're selling low ASP, it encourages me anyways to not do as many one-offs like this. Instead of doing one-offs, putting them together, because the shipping price for 2 of these is basically the same as the shipping price for 1. And I think that's one way to mitigate things on those light, lower, not even light, but semi-light, lower ASP items. ASP, for those of you who aren't resellers, means average sale price. Most of you know that. Sold a couple more of these Black Rifle mug matte black tumblers. These are got two different people, $17.95 a piece. Hey, if you want some trash to cash tumblers, go to commonwealthpicker.com. And these have been selling steady for us. We've sold probably half of all that Black Rifle stuff. So I'm going to dive into a few more of my thoughts here. Sold some Nike Tiger Woods adaptive pants. These are pretty nice pants, actually. But I want to get your feedback too. Well, some of you won't have much to say at all because you're calculated shipping. You're just going to let it handle itself and let the chips fall where they may, I suppose. These pants sold for 30 bucks plus shipping. And let me tell you, I'm very tempted to do that. Not just calculated shipping, but calculated shipping and passing on all of that discount to the buyer. I'm really considering it and just raising the price of the item enough to cover the stuff, because shipping isn't, you know, if you're giving all of your discount to the buyer, you're losing money on the shipping portion of it because you're paying the fee to eBay. You're paying the cost of actually packaging up the item. You're losing money every single time. Right now, I lose money occasionally when I'm doing flat rate. By the way, flat rate doesn't mean I'm using the flat rate service. And that's only going up 4% in this change, which really won't make a difference because it's way overpriced in my opinion. And I am curious out there, for those of you who do calculated shipping, would you tell me if, in the comments, if you pass on all of that discount to the buyer, the discounted shipping rate that eBay gives you to the buyer. So we had sold all of these, all of them, and one person opened up a return on like the 28th day of their return process. What are you doing? It's normally Poncho in here chewing on stuff. You gonna go surfing? Okay. But we relisted them and they sold again, and they sold for the same price they always have. What do they sell for? $16.95 plus shipping. How did you get in here before I did, huh? You a mind reader? We had another viewer buy something today. We had 3 viewer sales today, so we appreciate that very much. Let's see if I can find a size large here. Dry fit shirt. This sold for $19.95 plus shipping, and that is a small. So I found the large, and Marilyn bought this, and Marilyn has just been amazing to us. We also sold this Black Rifle Company stainless mug. You dogs are something else. So thank you, Marilyn. That one was $19.95, and this mug was $23 for that one. So Marilyn, you didn't leave a message, but we recognize you, and I'll combine shipping on that. We appreciate you very, very much. So my immediate strategy for right now is going to be to definitely raise the price of the, I have a 2 to 4 pound category that I can just go in there and change it. I'm going to raise it $1. I'm going to raise the 5 to 10 pound category $1 as well. That's probably all I'm going to do. There might be some little adjustments, like if something's $4.79 to ship out, you know, I don't know, 8 ounce rate or something. Might bump to $4.99. Might do a few of those little things in there. No wholesale changes yet, but it might be coming for me, especially if that, when I start shipping stuff out and you see you're not getting that cubic discount on there, I might just go ahead and make some wholesale changes. What are you guys going to do out there? Tell me below. And your answer could be absolutely nothing, because this kind of stuff does apply to everybody. But I just hate, and I've said this before, maybe I'm crazy, but I just hate when that shipping price becomes closer and closer to that sales price, and I do whatever I can to change it. And I think I may have to make those wholesale changes after some time. And Turner has reminded me that I promised them to take them to a movie today. The girls are gone. We've got a little bad news with Reagan. She had a bit of an accident the other day and has somehow managed to, I don't know if I want to call it broke her foot or broke her ankle, because it's kind of right there in that little section. But this was the 3rd viewer sale. So I'm going to cut the sales off a little short today. We'll do another 1 or 2 here and show you what's in this box. I'm excited this box showed up. And this vintage LA Rams pennant sold $14.95 plus shipping. That's an example of how that cubic rate helps so much on Ground Advantage, because that's a very light item, but when you package it up and lightly roll it, it's got to go in a fairly big box. and that rate is now not going to be quite as low as it was. Unfortunately, this one went to Steven. Hi, Kevin. I've been a subscriber to your YouTube channel for several years now. Admire your work ethic. I can't read all this nice stuff y'all say. Thank you. I appreciate your YouTube content. I've been meaning to buy something from you for a while and finally took action. I just wanted to show a small gesture of support. Uh-oh, we got a problem here. Hey, no, records are not to be played with, buddy. Sorry. You can just lay right there on the floor. There you go. There you go. There you go. I saw the Rams pennant in one of your recent videos and love the old Rams items. I've been a Rams fan since they played in LA. Oof. You're dating yourself. You're older than me, Steven. I remember them in Anaheim Stadium, but I don't remember them in the Coliseum. Is that when they wore the white and blue jerseys instead of the yellow? Any rate, I remember those days fondly. Thank you very, very much for your purchase. I hope you enjoy it. I just noticed Steven's feedback. You have 32,000 plus feedback. That's a lot. So I want to know exactly what you're doing when this stuff, because you've been through all this many, many times before. Back to the Harley van. And this is a different one, multi-quantity, but we have sold this one, and I decided not to put this one on sale. And I'm very glad I didn't, because it sold for 30 bucks plus shipping. And I think it's the second one we've sold. We have a few different sizes. So I'm happy with that decision. And you know, the last time there was what was the last fee increase? I'm glad the last update, you know, eBay doesn't have any massive fee increases in the foreseeable future. But, you know, that 10-cent bump for $10 items and up, that, you know, a lot of people just like, no big deal. And I'm like, man, that just cost me darn near $300 a year. Do I have my numbers right? I think that's right. I mean, look, if you're selling, just take a month. If you're selling 300 items in a month and they're all over $10, that's 30 bucks a month times, that's a lot of money, 360 bucks. So every little thing does matter. And I think we should continue to put the pressure on eBay as much as we can and other platforms. You know, they need to be competitive as they possibly can be, because all this stuff is raising the price of labor, all this stuff. The post office, that's why the post office is doing this. The cost of labor and the cost of their pensions and all the stuff. We get into all that. And you know what? I probably should say this. I used to not think this, but I think at this point, even those things that are monopolized by the post office, I think we're past that point where there ought to be a constitutional amendment and we ought to just make it all competitive. It's just my opinion. I wonder what you think about that. But little things do make a difference, and we can't just ignore them. We got to take steps to mitigate them. Workarounds, got to do something, because we got to make as much money as we have before. We can't let this stuff just eat into our profits as well. So at any rate, let me go pick, maybe I won't do any more today. Let's do this instead. So my buddy Rod, Picking and Punching, who's on a few Commonwealth pickers with me, he's a good friend, he's a good guy, even with that ridiculous haircut. So this right here, he told me about these when they come out. And he's like, you gotta order these in advance. They always sell, because they always sell out, and you can sell them later and do a little retail arbitrage, so online arbitrage. Dynamite Kid, big rubber guys. And so I bought some. I even bought some for myself, and he's right. I'm not gonna get rich off it, but I'm gonna make a little bit of money for sure. There's 2 dynamites in there. What else did I get? Probably Davy Boy. There you go. And Matilda. Very cool. So I got 4 of them, and I might keep 2 and sell 2. And if I do that, I might make enough money for the ones that oh, you know what else I did? I'll save it for a different video, I guess. Hey, just a reminder, we are going to be doing the deal of the day over on Dibdit, and I don't think I have one for this episode. I might figure something out. I might take an item and really deeply discount it and put it over on Dibdit, because I'm paying less fees over there, which is really, really cool, and give some folks a deal. So go over there and check out Dibdit.com. And if you find the Commonwealth picker, I have a little lane in there since I have the site. And I'm going to put some pretty steep deals over there. I don't have one to announce today, and Turner's chomping at the bit. I better get him in here. All right, I've got cats, I've got dogs, I've got everybody in here, and I got to get some shipping done. All right, y'all. Reagan, I haven't mentioned this yet. I have on a few places here. We're in the living room because I didn't want to make her come down. I didn't want to have her put her boot on because what did you do?
I fractured my ankle.
Fractured her ankle, and she's been laid up. So I said I'd film this up here. See her crutches back there, y'all. Juan's really concerned about it. All right. You want to thank some folks, though. Who you want to thank?
Nora got a Trash to Cash shirt, and Jeremiah got a Junkyard Flipper and Mulligan sticker.
Yeah, you got it. Actually, there's more names under Jeremiah.
And Mary. I don't know. Dan
and Demand.
Dan
and Demand. So we appreciate y'all very, very much. Those are going quick. We got a ton more folks to thank in the next few videos, so we appreciate it.
Bye, and don't forget to get your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
But I wanted to take a moment, just as always, and say thank you for watching this channel, for watching the Commonwealth Picker channel, for watching, for whatever reason, the Trash to Cash podcast, Garage Sale Nation, Facebook groups, all of it. We appreciate you guys very much, and I can't wait to see you next time.